Rock the Casbah, rock the Casbah. If Shari don't like it, rock the Casbah. Welcome to your Vape at 5. I am your host. I'm BlackCat. Today I have a review for you of a pretty innovative product, something new. This is from Pioneer for you, just like I am. A pioneer for you to find you the perfect vape. It's called the IPv3 Mini Auto Squonk. New little device by Pioneer for you. Really on the cutting edge of some innovation here. Something pretty cool that I have not used before. So it's the first time I've actually used anything that was like an auto squonker. A little new experience for me. Uses a Yeehee chip, I guess it's proprietary chip, and it uses a technology called ESS, which is Electronic Squirt Squonk. Show you how it works today and a little bit of information about it. Talk about my experience. I've been using it now for about 2 weeks, so I've had a pretty good user experience with it. Be able to tell you a little bit about that and how I enjoyed it and things of that nature. Also tell you where you can get it and then give you a rating for it or what I feel the value of it is at its current price point. Now remember, we have giveaways today. So if you're here after the review, we're doing a giveaway today for a set of coils from our featured builder, Mr. Dragon's Breath, and you're going to win a bottle of the #1 e-liquid on the face of this earth, Cat's Whiskers. You're going to win a bottle of that, and you're going to win a bag of Holy Fiber. So stay tuned for that to enter that giveaway. You're going to go to Monday's episode of the Vape at 5. It is episode 318. You're going to put a number between 1 and 150 to enter. I'll be pulling a number here after the review. All right, guys. Thanks, everybody, for joining. Really appreciate it. Got this device about 2 weeks ago, and I was really excited. I'd heard a lot of good stuff about it. And I like trying out things that are new and seeing how they actually work. I was really impressed with the functionality of this device. I was also impressed with the look of it. I like the look. It's small. So to give you an idea, did I bring my phone? I didn't. So let me grab something that you can reference size-wise to give you an idea of how big this actually is. I'm trying to find something pretty common. Well, here's a pen. I don't know if that'll work. I bought a bottle of e-juice, so you get an idea how big it is. So here's a 60 ml of e-liquid right there, and then here's how big it is. So you can get an idea there how big it is. It's not big at all. I wish I had my phone. That's what I was actually planning on using, but I guess I didn't bring my phone down here, which kind of sucks. About as little bit thicker than maybe an iPhone 8 and considerably smaller. If you have an Orion, it is literally the size of an Orion, but just a little bit bigger. So for something to have this with 3.5 mils of e-liquid capacity that you can hold in it, has two different of these little atomizer heads. They're not rebuildable. They are actually 0.3 ohms and 1 ohm. So the 0.3 is more of a kind of a restricted, well, not kind of, it is a restricted direct lung. And the 1 ohm is more of a mouth to lung. I used both, and I have a 0.3 on it now, but I really enjoyed the 1 ohm coil. On the 1 ohm coil, they have a couple different power settings, voltage-wise, or watts-wise, you can put through it. And I ended up running it on the lowest setting for power and with the 1 ohm coil, closing off that airflow a little bit, and I got a really good mouth-to-lung vape from it. Really enjoyed it. Juice capacity lasted for a long time, and the battery lasted forever. I've only charged this thing twice, and I'm still at like really high level of battery power there. Well, I've gone on about it a little bit, so why don't we take it down to the table here. I'm going to show you what's in the box, what you get with it. I'll show you the device. I'm going to apologize in advance. The little digital readings here on the camera I have, normally I have to turn down the brightness of the screen in order to see it, so it's going to be hard to see it. I tried it before I came on here and it's blurry. I can kind of tell you what it says, and if I tell you, you'll be able to say, oh yeah, that's what that says, but it's definitely not crystal clear. So apologize for that in advance. There's really nothing I could do. I messed with it before I came on, but there's nothing I can really do about it. Can't adjust it. It's just a little webcam that I use until I get a better camera. That's kind of what we're stuck with. So anyway, let's take it down to the table. I'll show you what all you guys get, and a little bit more. Go here. And down we go. All right, here we go. Here's the packaging for the IPv3 mini auto squonker. Comes in this nice box here. There we go, tuned it in. Back here just gives you a little bit of information about the company, what's in here. They call these the ADA atomizers. So there's two of them in here. Again, it's 0.3 and 1.0. USB cable gives you a user manual and a gift box. I guess this is the gift box. Has a number of different colors. So it has black, gunmetal. There's M1, M2, M3. This is the actual M3 version, which is the one that I really liked. But it has a couple different really nice little panels here that go on it. I'm assuming that's probably just a sticker, but it looks nice anyway. Made in China. No big surprise there. Open this up. So here is where your device is going to be. And then here is your second coil head. So this, I believe, is the 1 ohm coil head. I have well, I'll mention this too. I have another one that I bought that was broken. So wasn't really too happy about that, and that will be one of the cons. They sent me two, and one of them wasn't working, but this one is my second one. So here's the 1 ohm coil head. I'll kind of give you a little view of that. Actually, this is a, oh, wait a minute, this is a 0.3. Okay, so I used the one out of the other box there. This case here is not, you can't take it off, so you're stuck. So it is not rebuildable by any means. This little Delrin top here stays on there and will not come off. So you're stuck with whatever's underneath there. Can't change the cotton, can't do anything, which kind of stinks. I mean, yeah, I guess you could try to take that off there. It would more than likely break it though if you did that, and it probably wouldn't be able to use it. But if you were done using it and you just want to try to take the cotton off, take it off and see if you can change the cotton, be a great idea. Another con though, they don't have any rebuildables for it, which would have been really, really nice. Also, another con for it, that's not a 510 connection. So this, you cannot put regular atomizers on this. This is a proprietary connector to the device. So it doesn't allow for you to change anything out or use any other atomizer with it. Also in the box, you're gonna get, here's your upgrade cable, and then of course your instructions, which is an actual instruction booklet. There's information in it and tells you how to use the device. The device is pretty simple to use. There's only really 2 or 3 different settings. There's only one settings menu, but there's really only 2 or 3 settings that you really need to work with and change for your vaping style. All right, so here's the actual device. So again, you can get different custom colors here. You can get gunmetal, you can get black. I got the black here with the M3 design on it, which I really, really like. ADA atomizer sitting on top. I believe this has got to be another 0.3. Yeah, so this is the other 0.3. It's the top of it without the atomizer on it. Really shallow, so there's no way you could fit a 510 in there. 3.5 milliliter juice capacity. If you pull this out, just a little cartridge here, you fill it from here. This little piece, rubber piece is, you can take it off and wash it out if you wanted to. Fits really, really nicely in there, nice and snug. They don't give you an extra one of these, so you only get one of those. You do get 2 coils, but if you were to lose this or break that, then you're kind of out of luck. Not kind of, you are out of luck. On the back here, IPv, Yeehee, and then the electronic Squonker is the chipset that is in the device. So the menu here, and this is what I was talking about before. Let me put the atomizer back on it. All right, so here's the menu, and here's what I was talking about. You're not really going to be seeing. You just have a fire button and an up and down button. To get to your menus, let's see if I can get that. I'm gonna try to focus it in best I can for you guys. Well, that's worse. There we go, that's not too bad. So to get to your menus, to lock it, click it 3 times, it's gonna lock it. 3 times to unlock it. Then to get to your only menu that you have, you click 3 times. Or excuse me, 5 times. Once you click 5 times, it's going to take you to your menu. What you have here is your temperature setting, your temperature type, Fahrenheit or Celsius, and your hit type. So it goes from 356 up to 500 degrees Fahrenheit, or you can change it to Celsius. And then you have P1 and P2. So on P1 is 15 volts, P2 is 30 volts. So with the 1 ohm coil, you're going to use P1. With the 0.3 coil, you're going to use P2. On mine, I ran it at the lowest temperature possible, which is 356 on 30 volts. So that's how I ran the 3. On the 1, I ran it at 356 and P1. So that's just the settings I use. Now, to get it back, you just let it sit, and it will go back to the regular screen. You can't fire it until it goes back to that screen. So what is the unique stuff about this device? So first, every time you hit it, I don't know if you'll be able to hear it, but every time you hit it, you're gonna hear it squonking. Oops, it's locked. Let me unlock it there. So you can't actually hear it. Even if I get it next to the microphone, I don't believe you'd be able to hear it. But every time you hit it, it is auto squonking. And not so much hear it, but you can feel it. And you can actually feel how much juice in there. To control how much juice comes out when you squonk it, you're going to use the up arrow key. So when you have the menu lit here, you're going to hit up to turn up how much juice you want to come out. So it goes, I believe, from 20 to 50, or maybe it's 30 to 50. Let me go all the way down. Yeah. So, oh, wait a minute, it goes to 15. So you can change it to 15, which means it's going to send out very, very little bit of auto when it auto squonks. Or you can change it all the way up to 60. And then it will send a tremendous amount of juice when you squonk it, or when you fire it. What I was using it at was 50. So that's my setting I used, and it worked really, really well. I did see myself having to prime it, and how you prime it is once the menu is highlighted, you're just gonna hit this button here. And I'm gonna hold that up to the microphone to see if you guys can hear it. That's as much noise as it makes. So that will prime it. And then if you want to actually pull juice back, you're gonna hit the down arrow key. And it will pull juice out of the atomizer. So you can either prime it and add more juice, or you can remove juice from the atomizer. But every time you squonk it, or excuse me, every time you hit it, it's going to send juice to the atomizer. So really, really nice. One last look of it here before I bring you back up top. And that is the IPv3 Mini. All right, let's go back up top here. So that's the device. That's what comes with the device. I mentioned all the different colors. I actually really, really like the way that it looks. They gave a couple different color options with it that are pretty sexy. It fits really, really nicely in the hand. And it's something that it's a restricted direct lung hit that you can keep in your pocket. And what I mean by that is it's not big and bulky. For example, it's not like your topside dual that you're gonna have to like carry around in your hand. You can't really put in your pocket unless you have a bag with you or something like that. This is something you're gonna have to actually bring something to put it in. This right here will fit into your pocket easily. So it gives you that type of advantage where you can get something that's fairly direct lung with a nice flavorful vape, but yet can still fit in your pocket, which I think is kind of, you know, the market they were going for. Let me take a couple pulls off of this, and you guys can see the massive cloud production. Green screen blurs that out. That's a huge cloud. I'm telling you, it's huge. You guys would be really impressed if you were here. So here's what the airflow sounds like when you hit it. This is fully open on the 0.3 Power 2, which is 30 watts, at 356 degrees Fahrenheit. So that's what it sounds like. It's a little airy, or it's a little loud, but not really anything crazy. I heard people mentioning that they could hear the auto squonk function when they were firing it. I don't hear it. Maybe my ears just don't pick up that pitch, but I never heard it, so it never annoyed me. I can hear it when you're priming it. I primed it a lot. And what I would do is, like, if I was driving, I'd be hitting on it 2 or 3 times, and after I hit it 2 or 3 times, I would go ahead and prime it. And that just forced it to auto squonk, and then the next hit I got would be really, really flavorful. 2 or 3 more times, and I would prime it again. I like that they give you that option. That's pretty cool. I think that the auto squonking function works really, really well. Now, do I think it's completely necessary to have an auto squonk? You know, I guess it's argument. I mean, you could argue that. It's a little overdone. I mean, it's a little much. I can pretty much squonk and not have to really worry about, you know, making sure that I squonk. I don't forget to squonk. So it's not something that like, oh my God, I have to have it because I'm always forgetting to squonk. Now I have an auto squonker to do it for me. But it's pretty cool, and the functionality of it works really, really well. That they could find something and keep it in this size, where it fits so nicely in the hand. It's very inconspicuous too, for the type of vape that you get off of it. And again, you can get a really nice restricted direct lung hit from it, and keep it in your hand just like that. Nobody would even notice you have it. I think that's a really, really nice touch. Again, with the look and the ergonomics of it, I think are really, really cool. So the look for it to me was a really, really big positive. Couple of the cons with it, no 510 compatible, that you can't use any other atomizer with it. Also though, what atomizer are you gonna fit on there? Not many. I mean, if you did, it was gonna have some overhang. And so I kind of understand why it doesn't really matter if another atomizer fits on it. But to make it a regular 510 connection would have been pretty cool, at least in my opinion. Maybe there's something else they could have done with it that they hadn't thought of yet. I guess would be my idea more so than anything. But the big part of it is there's no rebuildable. So it's just a horizontal wire coil in there. I believe it's nickel or stainless steel. I think the 0.3, I do know the 0.3 is actually stainless, and the 1 ohm is nickel. So you could replace it and put something else in it if it was rebuildable, but you can't get that little Delrin top off there. You can't get it off. If you do, it's going to break and you're not going to be able to use it. So you're stuck with the coils that they give you, which they give you 2. Now, I did buy a couple extra ones, but it's a package of 2 and it's like $12. So, I mean, it's a little bit of an investment to get enough. Now, this one, I used 2 in 2 weeks, and neither one of them was done yet. So you could probably get 2 weeks out of one coil head here with fairly regular use. I don't know if you pulled on it all day long. I don't know if that coil head would last for a week or 2 weeks, but you at least get a week out of it, I would say, even with heavy use. I took the one off after a week, and it wasn't done yet. One of the things that really concerns me about it is the price. It's $70. And with the coil heads being around like $7 a piece to get, you know, another coil head for it, that's kind of pricey. I think with the rebuildable option, maybe that helps a little bit, but $70, I mean, I guess for the technology, it is a Yeehee chip, and Yeehee is a more upscale type chip. I can understand them wanting it to be in that price range, but that's a lot. When at the end of the day, this is really just a restricted direct lung pod. I mean, it's not so much, they do call it a pod, and for the most part, that's what it is. It's not a dripper. You can't drip in there. I mean, I guess you could, and actually I did a little bit. But I mean, you're not really supposed to drip in it, and it's a $70 range for it. Seems a little high to me. I would have liked to seen it maybe in the $50 range, and quite frankly, probably under that, I think, for it to be more popular, because all the other pods are in the $20 range. Except for like the Orion and the Ally and a couple of the higher end ones that are up in the, you know, $70, $80, $100 range. But for the most part, most of them are in the, you know, 15, some are 10 now, up to $25 range. So it's hard to really justify paying $70 for this. I thought the price was a little bit high. But the pros of this really outweigh the cons. So one of the pros obviously is the innovation. It's a new chip, it's a new idea. It's something that can be built upon. Something I do think there's a market for. I do think there's a market because, you know, people love to squonk. I think squonking is the best. Waylon! My cat is getting into my green screen. Squonking is one of the things that's going to keep going in our community, especially in the hobby side of this community. The innovation of using an auto squonker is going to have a market, and it's going to continue to grow, and they do it really well. So I think that's a huge pro for it. The battery life on it is fantastic. It's a 1400 milliamp battery. This thing lasted forever. Literally, I've only charged it twice, and I still have 3/4 of a battery now. I've literally charged this thing 2 times in 2 weeks. I mean, it's really fantastic. So as long as you're not constantly using it, I mean, you could easily get 3 days out of this. Easily. I'm thinking more like 5 days with this thing without charging it if you let the battery run all the way down, because it uses very little power and it has 1400 milliamps. So battery power on it is fantastic. Looks great. Looks absolutely fantastic. I love the look of it. The size of it, again, is about as big as an Orion or smaller than a phone. Inconspicuous. It's something that you can get a restricted direct line hit with and keep in your pocket. It's not big and bulky like this is, even though the vape on this is 100 is better. I mean, that's the thing. The vape on it isn't fantastic. The vape on it is good. It's a good vape. It's not something you're going to vape and be like, I hate this thing. No, it's not like that, but it's not going to blow you away. But for what it is, I think that they hit it right on the head. I mean, and you can put it right in the front pocket of your pants, your shorts, your jeans, whatever you have on. Right in the front pocket, you wouldn't even know you had it, and it's very inconspicuous, which is nice. Another thing, this atomizer, the ADA atomizer, is on there really good. So you don't have to worry about breaking that off, which is one of the things I heard about constantly with the Orion, is that the drip tip would always come off, or you could push it off or break it off. You can't do that with this. I mean, it's on there good. And it's very sturdy, it's like a zinc alloy casing, so it's a really, really nice casing. Really, really well done. If I was to rate this device on a scale of poor all the way to excellent, it's kind of hard because there isn't really anything else out there like this. So there's really nothing to put it against. So I'm not really going to rate it on that scale. I'm going to say this. Should you go out and pay $70 for this? Man, I'm telling you, if you want it, by all means, go out and get it. But at $70, it seems like it's a little high to me. I would probably really like to see it in the $45 range or $50 max. $70 to me seems a little high. And I would not, if I wasn't reviewing it, I wouldn't pay $70 for it. It's too much for me. Considering that there's nothing rebuildable and you just got to continuously buy coil heads for it. But now that I have it, I'll use it. I'll use it all the time. This will be something that I keep literally by my keys and I just throw in my, in my bag or throw in the car so that I always have something I can just put in my pocket and be inconspicuous about and get a really, really nice restricted direct line. Or it really shines when you use that 1 ohm coil, the mouth to lung. When you use that coil, it really, really shines. Drop the power down to P1 at 15 watts and close the airflow off a little bit. It's a nice direct lung vape. Really is. And you can use regular, juice with it. You don't have to use, I don't think anybody would use salt nick in this. I hope not. But you can use regular juice in it, maybe a little higher milligram, 6 or 12 milligram, and get a really, really nice vape. Well, thanks everybody for watching. I really, really appreciate it. If you're not subscribed to the channel, I'd appreciate it. Hit the subscribe button. Join the Black Cat fam. I do this 4 days a week, Monday, Tuesday, today, Wednesday, and Friday is a Vape Hot Tub. This week on the Vape Hot Tub, we got Jay Hayes. So it's going to be a fantastic show. I love you guys. Thanks so much for watching.